Hello, I'm Peter Towers, Managing Director of ESS BIZTOOLS. Welcome to Accountants Minute. Merry Christmas and best wishes for 2022. Supercharging for 2022. There is no doubt that accountancy firms are going to face a lot of challenges in 2022. But there is also a strong expectation that there's going to be boom conditions in the next calendar year and hopefully for a few years later on. We all know that not every business achieves boom conditions, and part of that is making sure that you and your clients are prepared as best as possible. So today I want to present to you a brief overview of some of the issues that we've been discussing recently, which we believe will affect how your firm, how your team, how your clients will perform during the next 12 months. Data will be king in 2022. This was the message a few weeks ago by Terry Kramer, who's the Faculty Director of the Anderson School of Management, which is part of the University of California, Los Angeles, but he is also the chair of Skylo Technologies, a very successful startup business in the USA. He said that there was a strong expectation that 2022 would be a boom year, very similar to what happened at the end of the Spanish flu in 1920, which heralded in the era which became known as the Roaring Twenties. How prepared are you for that? The scaling up process should be implemented by partners and senior managers to assist in the development of younger accountants by encouraging younger accountants to get a better understanding of the opportunities and the work requirements to work with SME businesses, especially SME businesses that are scaling up. This was the comment made by Andrew Geddes, an Australian accounting legend, and for 10 years was the chair of the very successful Green Cross Limited, which grew from a one-person veterinary service practice in Townsville 30 years ago to be a top 200 ASX company, primarily through utilising the scaling up process. What Andrew Geddes was saying is that when partners and senior managers are having conversations, meetings, deliberations with the senior executives of your clients, why not invite younger accountants to sit in on those discussions, to be the minute taker, to record the minutes and prepare the action plan and follow up any other information that the firm has to supply to the client as a consequence of that meeting. Because Andrew argued that in this way, you would be giving a real life experience to these younger accountants beyond annual accounts and tax return preparation work. Andrew Geddes said this was the scaling up process as it relates to the development of team members. And given all the challenges that are confronting accountancy firms relative to retention of staff and attraction of staff, is this something you should be doing? And I was very mindful of this a couple of days ago when I read the comment in Accountants Daily. Over 70% of the profession are eyeing opportunities elsewhere. And I suspect that those accountants who are eyeing prospects elsewhere who work in accountancy firms were probably looking at firms which are offering interesting and challenging work within the profession, or going beyond into commercial organisations who, if the boom conditions really emerge, will be in the marketplace looking to hire more accountants. So there's a lot of challenges there for accountancy firms. Now, when I asked Andrew Geddes in the podcast, well, when should accountants do this? They've been very busy of late. Could they start looking at implementing these scaling up strategies for team members in, say, 6 months' time? I could feel him coming down the Zoom conversation with me into my ears when he said, "You've got to start now, this afternoon, because your greatest challenge at the moment is getting good people to work with. You've got to start now, this afternoon," is what an expert in guiding accountancy firms, Andrew Geddes, says about this issue. Very much food for thought, I would suggest. Most firms don't have systems for the delivery of business advisory services. It tends to be a one-off job. This was one of the comments from Mark Holton, a director of Smith Inc. Mark indicated that in 25 years of advising accountancy firms on the introduction of business advisory services, every one of those firms has indicated that they undertake business advisory services. But he never found any one of them that had a system. They were always done as one-off jobs. So they had to go back to the drawing board each time. And there was no follow-on activity implemented. Mark's suggestion was that if you're asked to prepare a budget and cash flow forecast, which invariably was because the bank was after it, that you should be suggesting to your client that on at least a quarterly basis, and I would suggest on a monthly basis, but Mark said a quarterly basis, there should then be a business review meeting to compare actual performance to the budget and cash flow forecast that had been submitted to the bank. Because Mark's argument is this is the system in operation, that you prepare a budget and cash flow, hopefully according to the system, and you then embed it into the overall system by saying, now we should review this on a quarterly basis. We all know that most of your clients will never suggest this. You need to be proactive on this. You need to raise the issue and discuss it. Now, those of us who have been doing consulting work for years probably find this easy to raise these issues. I was with an accountant, one of our subscribers yesterday, working with him away from my office with one of his clients who needs assistance on a new grant program. But we had to be fairly firm in making suggestions on various aspects of how we can see ourselves being able to assist that client going forward. The client appreciated that, I hope, because he accepted the proposal. You just need to be implementing strategies and having conversations which lay out a path. And at the end of the day, the clients will benefit from this process. If you've got systems, you will get the extra work, but you must be prepared to be reactive to what the clients are seeking. This was a comment made by a small accountancy firm and solo practitioner expert consultant, Amanda Gascoigne. Amanda is a veteran of running an accounting firm in Maitland in the Hunter Valley. And for the last 5 or 6 years, she's been offering consulting services primarily to small firms and sole practitioners. I found it very interesting that Amanda volunteered this statement in one of our podcasts recently, because she was saying that smaller firms, if you're going to be getting traction from offering new services, you need to have a system, but you must be very responsive to what your clients are saying. Now, I don't know how many of you are getting requests from your clients to undertake extra taxation type work for them. In my experience, of running an accounting firm for over 25 years, I never got those sort of questions that the client wanted more taxation work done, other than tax planning, of course, looking at what their future tax commitments might be. But they were interested in other things: succession planning, retirement, buying another business, selling part of their business, looking to where they were going to get money from. These were the issues. And I don't think anything's changed. They're still the issues. In fact, there's probably more of them because there's more people in business, isn't there, than what there used to be. Because some of the big companies have laid off people. They're now running tradie businesses. How many of them are you helping to set their charge out rates so that they're sympathetic to the wages being paid, to the hours being worked, to the productivity being achieved, to the overhead expenses of that particular tradie business and the profit they would like to achieve, so that if all that fits together, they will earn that profit. But you just can't set that up and let it sit there for a year or even longer. You really should be doing what Mark Alton's suggesting, that on a quarterly, and I would again say monthly basis, you say that we really need to have a business review meeting. And most clients are going to accept that. And if they don't, I'd be wondering whether I wanted to continue to work with them, to be honest, because I think it'll end up a problem. They'll get to the end of the year and they won't make the profit. Why? Because way back in month one or quarter one, productivity was not achieved that had been budgeted for in the calculation of the charge out rate. Then there's no chance that they will achieve that profit target. By continually monitoring it, you have got the best chance of being able to fine-tune the results or lower the expectation on what the profit's going to be. So you don't get to the end of the year and the client says to you, you told me we were going to earn $100,000, we've only earned $30,000. Where it could have been caused because of lower productivity. But no one is been examining the key performance indicators and knowing this is occurring. This is accountants' work. In a bigger corporation, accountants do this. The internal chief financial officer. The CEO doesn't do it. And the vast majority of your clients who are running small, medium-sized businesses, they don't have the time, nor, I suspect, the inclination to be sitting there doing these calculations. This is the role I think you should be grabbing for yourself by offering to undertake this virtual CFO role. So think about it, please. We also had Paul Barnaby's comments. Now, Paul Barnaby's a very experienced chartered accountant who 15 years ago saw the light, is the way he tells me, and decided to specialize in predictive accounting. And he searched software products all over the world until he found Plan Guru. And he approached them, gave them some of these suggestions, and become the regional integration consultant, Asia Pacific, for Plan Guru. Now, Plan Guru over the last 10 years have grown very significantly. I've had the pleasure of interviewing on a few occasions now one of their directors, their marketing director, and one of the key shareholders in the company, Trip Graham. And it's a interesting expansion that firm's been under. Paul Barnaby made the comment, predictive accounting is documenting for future accounting periods what we have been doing in the historical accounting process. But the software tools are now available to prepare it on a 3-in-1 type basis. I really believe that the predictive accounting reports are just as important as the historical accounts for your clients. Not for the tax office, they don't want to know anything about that. But for your clients, they're very important because it's saying, based on their business plan, their strategies, where they think they're heading, and their charge out rates and their expenses and everything else, this is what your end result's going to look like. So it might be a great wake-up call for a client. This is real accounting work. And I think the more you do of this, the more you will have no trouble in retaining your key accounting staff and attracting new ones, because they will know you're doing real accounting work and that it's interesting and challenging. And sure, there'll be some mistakes made at times, and there'll be some deadline arguments, and there'll be all those sorts of things that happen in the life of an accountant. But that's the real world. I was the CFO in a listed public company for part of my career, 11 years of it. And I can assure you there were all sorts of deadlines and arguments at times. But you need to do this if your client, in that case it was the company, the CEO I treated as the client, had to be kept informed. Most of us who these days have got SME and perhaps companies that are scaling up just have a multitude of CEOs to deal with. You're not in one company with one CEO, you might have a dozen or 15 of them. But I think you need to be offering the same service as what you would do if you were working exclusively in a listed company with one CEO to answer to and look after and keep giving advice to. And then we have the comments made by Priscilla B. Smith, the director of Cloud9 Associates. We joined ESS 5 years ago as a subscriber, and we've never looked back. It's an amazing set of products and tools that we utilize with our clients and also with the young accountants that are in their mentoring program, Cloud9's. So Priscilla's saying that the services that ESS BIZTOOLS provide enable her to implement them within her accounting firm, which is primarily targeted at small and medium-sized businesses, and also in the training program that she's offering to young accountants. So the general theme running through all of this is that systems are important. Firms need to be taking close attention to their younger accountants and giving them interesting and challenging work. Your clients also want you to be offering them value-adding services. I think they're very responsive to diversified services. And this is a challenge for 2022. So where do you start? If you're starting from zero, you haven't offered these services in the past, other than these one-off services that Mark Holton was referring to, I suggest that you start with the ESS BIZTOOLS special package that we've developed, the Tools to Create Opportunities package. Now that gives you 7 packages, 4 of which are standard because they're the key marketing and promotional material within ESS BIZTOOLS, which will help you establish the presence with your clients and prospects that you are willing to look at advising them on a range of diversified services. And then you can pick another 3 from 22 packages, a whole range of them. The brochures attached within the email that we have sent to you. Please click onto it and have a look. And if you're serious about getting involved in business advisory services and you haven't got a system at present, I think you owe it to yourself to spend $795, including GST. Not much for an investment in a whole new range of products that many people believe will be around 50% of their fee income, either now or in the years ahead, because some people are already achieving this. That's the challenge for you as we come to the end of 2021. That special offer is available until the 31st of December 2021. I hope you're able to avail yourself of it. And we will be talking to you early in January and getting you motivated on utilizing that package, Tools to Create Opportunities. If you have already started offering some business advisory services, and you are interested in our other packages, they are there. You can subscribe to our advanced package, which includes everything that ESS BIZTOOLS produces. And we have a starter package, which is a bit further up the train of what you're going to receive than the tools to create opportunities. I'd love to hear from you. We are in our office until the 22nd of December, until Wednesday, the 22nd of December. If you need to contact us, please do so. Thank you for reading and listening to our various ESS BIZTOOLS Accountants Minute promotions during this year. May I take this opportunity on behalf of the ESS BIZTOOLS and ESS BizGrants team to wish you, your colleagues, your families, your clients a very happy Christmas and hopefully a very, very successful 2022. Stay safe. Have a great day. Goodbye.